That was my earlier point, that going into space should not be about what the president wants to do. It shouldn't be about the whims of Congress. It should be about the electorate and how the electorate feels about this and the future of our country. About this and the future of our country. See if I get two more. So, I don't want to lead anything. I want to convince the public that the right NASA budget will get us out of these economic doldrums, because at the end of the day, it's not what the president feels like or what Congress feels like, it's what we feel like doing. Because the president works for us. Next.
This was from someone who said, "I saw us land on the moon as a kid. Where can I realistically expect us to be in the next 40 years?
Next 40 years, if we double the budget, we're everywhere. We're on asteroids, we're on Mars, we're on Phobos and Deimos, we have sample returns, we're on the near side of the moon, the far side of the moon, which is in a radio shadow from Earth. Earth is radio noisy for conducting sensitive scientific measurements. We would stop that asteroid headed our way. That's kind of an important thing to do as well. All right, military has whatever their needs are. We have tourist jaunts to the moon. We're doing all of this. And we'd be doing that within a couple of decades. A couple of decades. That's why I was frustrated. I was at the Obama speech in Kennedy Space Center, April 15th, where he said, "Moon, we've been there, done that, let's go to Mars." It played well in the audience, because it's right, we've been to the moon. All right, but then I thought about it and I said, wait a minute, okay, that means we're not going anywhere until we go to Mars. So what is that gap? Oh, it's 20 years. 20 years? Wait, so stop the presses. You mean, Mr. President, you are committing this nation to go to Mars under the leadership of a president to be named later on a budget not yet established? That's not a promise. I could have gone up there and promised that. I didn't even have to be president. When Kennedy in 1961 said, we're going to put a man on the moon before the decade is out, he's thinking we're going to land on the moon basically under his watch, so he can marshal the political will and all of the forces that were present in 1962 through that decade, and the budget tracking that required. So I'm worried that we're dependent on what a president wants to do. That was my earlier point, that going into space should not be about what the president wants to do. It shouldn't be about the whims of Congress. It should be about the electorate and how the electorate feels about this and the future of our country. See if I get two more in there. Go.
This is something I think you talked about.
Country. See if I get two more in there. Go.